So our demo, what we will be showing is actually how to use so-called sensor nodes, like the one I hold here in my hand, to monitor storage regulations in a warehouse, for example, to guard against any dangerous situations. What kind of storage regulations do we have? One is you're not allowed to store chemicals together that could react with each other. Another one is that you have too much of one chemical stored in a location. Again, all for safety reasons. So Uwe, can you please show us how this works?
Yeah, sure. We equipped each of these drums with one of the sensor nodes that Stefan mentioned, and this enables them to talk to each other and also to our backend system. This allows us to have a real-time view of what's going on in a warehouse directly in the enterprise portal. We see here the shop floor of the road building, the floor plan of the road building, and we see that we have two drums here on the stage. And if I move my mouse pointer to one of them, we get more information about that drum. For example, the material that is stored within the drum, as well as the storage limit that is set for this kind of material, and actually current temperature around the drum. So currently, the floor plan is still marked green since we all meet all storage regulations. We are allowed to have 3 drums, and we only have 2, so everything is in a safe condition. If Patrick now brings another drum here to the floor, then it will immediately pop up on the screen.
Oh, I see. We see the third drum now here, but also the color has changed to yellow now. Why is this?
Yeah, this means that we now have a sort of critical situation since we met now the storage limitation. We have 3 drums and we are only allowed to have 3 drums, so we should not add anything else.
Okay, that is good, but what is different now with RFID, to RFID with this sensor node here?
Yeah, with standardized RFID technology, we would of course be able to look or monitor what is going in and out of the warehouse. But an obvious advantage that we have here is that we have sensors on these nodes, and we can really sense environmental conditions like the temperature or the humidity. Another big advantage is that these devices are much more autonomous than RFID tags. We call that business logic on the items. So they can really decide on their own if there is a dangerous situation. They could really track these storage regulations locally. So they could even do that during transportation and there's no infrastructure available at all.
Okay, but like with this dangerous limit here, should we change here something that this is not necessary anymore?
So what we should talk about the peer-to-peer communication. They are able to communicate peer-to-peer kind of manner, and we also know that as mesh networks.
But I mean, if you say peer-to-peer and they're communicating autonomously, where do they get the storage location from?
So they really get that from, they're fully integrated with the EH&S solution of SAP with the material database there. So if I change something in that database, these changes will immediately propagate it down to this item, so they only monitor the current situation. I can show this here in the EH&S system. If I change the storage limit here from currently 3 drums, what is 150 liters, to 10 drums, which is 500 liters of liquid, and I save it, then this will really be pushed down to the nodes, and they immediately check for this new rule, and we can check that in the enterprise portal. If I now move the mouse pointer to one of these drums, you see that the storage limit is now set to 10. And also the floor here is now marked green again since we are under the storage limit now.
Okay, that makes me feel a little... What is happening here? You said you have 10 drums of these, now it's just 4, and you have the alarm. What's going on?
Yeah, but now we have a different problem, because Patrick brought an oxidizing material and put it close to flammable ones, so he caused an explosive, very dangerous situation, and we should not do that here, so please remove it quickly.
Okay, that is all very interesting, but what is the technology behind it? How does that work, really?
Yeah, so these devices communicate wirelessly via a proprietary protocol. They also communicate all the information via a gateway. This gateway transforms it in standard TCP/IP communication and then connects everything to the backend system. On each of the nodes, we store information about the material in the drum, a list of the incompatible goods, as well as the storage limit. And if a new drum appears close to another drum, they start exchanging this information completely autonomously, and they will really locally recognize the dangerous situations. This is a very efficient way of doing this test. If we would do this in a backend system, it would really be a huge effort. We would have to have a global view, and here we can do it locally by just having a linear complexity algorithm.
So this must be more expensive than RFID. So you can only use it with high-value assets or less critical situations without any real business cases?
Yeah, sure. So this scenario is derived from a real-world scenario that we currently evaluate in the COBIS research project together with BP at the real chemical plant in the UK. Okay?
Actually, we're done.
And there are additional applications.